Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Cohn phone. I'm out of focus, but I should figure it out in a second. Technology and Grant Cohn coming together. A synergy. Nice. Here I am. Okay, so I'm going to be taking calls for the next hour. I don't want to just an hour, not 2 today. Sunday's different. This is God's day. So I'm going to get to the calls as soon as possible. I have 3 things I want to talk about, starting with Deebo Samuel's Instagram comments. They're cryptic. He said... he posted a little blurb. It said, "I'm tired of showing what I can get done. I'm tired of showing what I can get done. What you gonna do for me?" Now, there's a 95% chance this is a song lyric that I don't know by, Lil Baby or Playboy Cardi or whoever, some guy that just mumbles his lyrics into the auto-tune, and I'm too old for that. I'm 34. I don't listen to stuff like that. So it's possible it's just a song lyric, but still, I remember when I was in my mid-20s, whenever you had that urge to post a song lyric, it wasn't just because you liked the lyric. It's like you're trying to express something inside that you feel this person that you like a lot is expressing better. So there's something, I don't know, I feel like there's a reason he posted that. And then a few days before on Twitter, he wrote, "If your mental is not strong, you won't last in this profession. So much weight on your shoulders, family, performing well, training the right way, literally everything. God, continue to watch over me." Look, here's how I interpret this, and I could be wrong, but I've been covering this team since 2011. I've seen a lot of young men on the cusp of getting a huge $100 million contract, and sometimes they're a little nervous, and they are very active on social media. I remember Eric Armstead, right before he got the big deal from the Niners, was all over social media. Any person who said he wasn't worthy, me. When I said the Niners should not sign him and sign Jadeveon Clowney, he went on like he said a bunch of tweets about me. He would never do that anymore, but he was a little agitated because he hadn't gotten the bag yet, and so he was on Twitter. Now he's stupid, wealthy, rich, and he wouldn't waste his time taking shots at me on Twitter. I mean, I just feel like what's happening with Deebo is he's starting the negotiation process, and what he's going to learn is that the Niners are going to disrespect him a little bit. I mean, that's just part of negotiations, but Deebo, go ask George Kittle what they said about him in the negotiation process. What they're going to tell you the whole time is how you're not as good as you think you are. You just put the team on your back all year, and you're thinking they're going to say you're the greatest, you're the best player in the league. They're going to be like, well, you dropped hella passes. You dropped hella passes. You play running back now. I mean, we love that, but running back, we could make you the highest paid running back in the league, give you $16 million a year, but $25 million a year to be a wide receiver. You're not a full-time wide receiver. You're a running back / wide receiver. You drop a lot of passes. We're going to have to meet in the middle here, Deebo. And maybe that's very difficult for Deebo because I think Deebo probably sees himself as the best wide receiver in football. I'm sure the coaches say that to him, but the front office is different. So Deebo's getting the sense of what it's like to negotiate. It's probably nerve-wracking. He's probably thinking, I'm not going to get as much as I thought. Well, he's going to get a lot. He's probably going to get it all. I'm on your side, Deebo. I'll push for you. I got your back. But I think that's what's happening. I've seen this before. Tell me this isn't the I'm about to get the bag jitters. I think it is. It's not like the Niners are going to trade Deebo. I mean, that would be the dumbest thing ever. If you trade anyone, it's the tight end, right? You guys feel me on that, right? Right. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But yeah, I think that's what's happening with Deebo. All right, I got 2 more things. The secondary. I go on about this every offseason, but it's an epidemic now. The secondary is terrible. It's indefensibly bad. Let me put it this way. The Niners last year, 5th in sacks, 1st in forced fumbles, just a phenomenal pass rush. Yet they ranked 26th in interceptions and 20th on 3rd down conversion rate. Like, they weren't good on 3rd down with that pass rush. They weren't good on 3rd down with that pass rush. They only ranked 26th in interceptions. Well, why? Because they don't have any impact players in their secondary. Their best player in the secondary is Jimmy Ward, whose best quality is man-to-man coverage and tackling. They value length, wingspan, and tackling in the secondary, which are traits you can get 3rd round and after. They don't value speed, recovery speed, or ball skills. So they didn't make it to the Super Bowl because Jaquiski Tartt couldn't catch a pop fly that you could catch because they don't value ball skills in the secondary. They haven't drafted a DB higher than round 3 since 2015. That was Jaquiski Tartt. And so Since 2017, since John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan have taken over, the Niners are dead last, tied dead last with the Jets in interceptions. That's indefensible. With all the investments they make in pass rush, they should have a secondary to match. They should be right up in the top of the league in interceptions yearly. They should be among the best third down defenses in the league. And it's not D'Amico's fault. It's it's Parag's fault. It's Parag and his spreadsheets. Somehow, some way, he decided that secondary doesn't matter and you can just get guys who tackle and get by. But no, what you have is a team that can't intercept passes. And so you don't win Super Bowls. You need that. They have impact players everywhere at every single position group on their team except for secondary. You got a potential franchise quarterback in Trey Lance, third pick in the draft, has all the tools. On the offensive line, you got Trent Williams, impact player. Weapons, you got Deebo Samuel, the best weapon in the league, and Kittle, who's an impact player when healthy, hasn't been healthy in a while. Defensive line, you got Bosa. Linebacker, you got Warner. No one in the secondary. They got their dollar store people in the secondary. I mean, the only player they even remotely invest in is Jimmy Ward, who's a good starter, not an impact player. The Niners need a number one corner and a safety with speed and ball skills. 2 starters, probably a nickel too, 3 starters. And what they're going to do is sell you on Ambry Thomas, Talanoa Hufanga, Diamador Lenore. Ambry Thomas has a chance to be an impact player. The other 2 don't. Hufanga has no speed, no ball skills. Not a starter, but they're going to sell you on that when they should be spending their second round pick on a freaking safety. And they're going to sell you that Ambry Thomas or Emmanuel Mosley is the number one corner when they should be looking for ways to get Xavier Howard or Stephon Gilmore, one of the 2. I'm making it real clear right now. This is my manifesto for the offseason. Parag, I'm looking at you. You got to take it seriously. The secondary. It's called the secondary. It's very important. You go dollar store general back there. You got to update the spreadsheet, man. Last thing. How are you going to get that cornerback one? How about you trade George Kittle for Xavier Howard? Let me tell you something about Xavier Howard. Since 2017, Xavier Howard has 27 interceptions. The Niners have 45. He has half of the Niners' production. Miami's overinvested in the secondary. They've been trying to move him for a while. They need a guy like George Kittle, a safety blanket for Tua Tagovailoa, who is the young left-handed version of Jimmy. He knows Mike McDaniel. He would make Mike McDaniel's job easier. Straight up, George Kittle for Xavier Howard. There's your number one cornerback that you need. Then you spend your second-round pick on a safety with speed and ball skills. Someone who can catch a pop fly. That's important. It's a really important skill. Tackling's important too, but it's a passing league now. And plus, everyone can tackle in your secondary. You need recovery speed, ball skills. And Xavier Howard has those things. One of the best corners in the league. Has half of the 49ers interception percentage production in the last half decade. Get this dude here. Nothing against Kittle, but impact player when healthy. Hasn't been healthy in 2 years. Has some games where he turns back the clock, but really there's nothing he does aside from blocking that Deebo doesn't do. It's not like Kittle's a better red zone target than Deebo. He's not better after the catch. He's not fast. There's nothing Deebo does that Kittle doesn't do. You're paying Kittle for his blocking at this point, for what he helps you in the run game. Man, you could trade him, get in Xavier Howard, and get offensive linemen to help the running game. You know, real blockers who weigh more than 245. So I think George Kittle for Xavier Howard is something that could work for all parties. Anyway, a lot for you guys to think about. Deebo Samuel, the secondary, Xavier Howard, George Kittle, and whatever's on your mind. Let's get to it because we don't got a ton of time today. What's up?
Hey, what's up, Grant? How you doing, man?
I'm great, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much. So I wanted to expand on a couple of points that I had mentioned in a couple of your broadcasts about, number one, why it would be a bad idea to go get Tom Brady. And number two, why it's a fantasy to think we can get a first or second round for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
So I'll try to make it. I could spend all day on this, but I'll try to make it just my points in a couple minutes.
Sure.
So number one, with Brady, you're basically what you're doing is you're mortgaging your identity, your future, just for one potential Super Bowl. One. And then what's the guarantee with Brady that we're going to even win a Super Bowl? Yeah, he's got 7 rings, but that's in 20 seasons. So that means you only have a 35% chance of winning a ring with Brady. what makes you think that Trey Lance is not a Super Bowl winning quarterback? You know, and I know that if he was given a fair opportunity to start this year, we win the Super Bowl.
I think so.
And he's 1 for 1. And he's 1 for 1.
I think so. It's funny, the thing about Trey Lance, I'm gonna say this real quick. I think what people get a lot of hesitancy, a lot of pushback on Trey Lance. He's not ready. We can't make that. How I think it's just people are afraid of the unknown. So you can see some people are afraid of the unknown, and they express that through this quarterback thing. They're like, they're just talking about themselves when they say Trey Lance isn't ready. You're just afraid. You know Jimmy Garoppolo isn't good enough, but you're petrified because the next guy you don't know as well as. That's the only thing. It's like, man, you need to go out, like leave your hometown, take a trip, go to Europe, do some things that are out of your comfort zone, man, because you seem like the kind of person who eats the same TV dinner every Wednesday night, and we got to talk about that. Not you, of course, not you.
Exactly. And what makes you think that Trey couldn't just play the Jimmy role, but give us 2 to 3 wow plays a game?
That's what I'm saying. Hey, but don't play the Jimmy role. Like, don't do the interception thing and
without the interception, of course,
the infinite pump fake thing. Like, don't take this. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm fired up because I have a little bit of Pete's coffee right here. Shout out Pete's.
Right. And then here's the thing: is let's say for argument's sake that we did bring Brady, and the next thing you know, because I'm a Laker fan too, Brady's going to be just like LeBron. He's going to start wanting to bring his homies in. And
does he have any sons that are about to be in the NFL? I mean, he's got to have like a 35-year-old son, right? Can he play? Does he have? What's the deal there? I don't know. I haven't followed up with that, but I think he's got a kid who's 27. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I know.
Maybe it's time to spend some time with his kids. I don't know.
Exactly. And then what makes you think that Tampa is going to trade, give us Brady for Jimmy? Let me tell you about Tampa. They are more likely to trade for Deshaun Watson, who may not be able to play, or even sign Colin Kaepernick, who's been 5 years out of the league, than trade for Jimmy. I'll tell you that.
I don't understand trading for Jimmy because you're just going to cut him afterwards. So basically, what's the point? No one wants him. AK, man, I got to take more calls. We're going lightning round today, but I appreciate you for being first in line. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Good.
Peace. TN 49er, I missed you. Dude, where you at?
Hospital, bro.
What happened, man?
Long story. Been here since last Saturday. I'm good.
You good?
As Harbaugh would say, I'm working through some things. But
well, I'm glad that you're good enough to call in from the show. The nurses are cool. Damn, man, you got stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You promise me?
I promise. Yeah, you ain't got to worry, Grant.
Okay. All right. All right, man. Well, what's on your mind?
Well, man, I was calling. I was just going to say I appreciate what you and Crocker said the other day about Trey, that you pulled the card. It's like, bro,
he didn't want to do it, but I did it.
Yeah, it was like, come on, man. We know what it is. Stop.
Yeah.
Just put it on the table. Yeah, come on, bro. Like your guy yesterday said, Jimmy 2 picks every game. So I mean, like, you don't think Trey can do better than that?
Yeah. And that, no, if Trey does it, he's not ready. But if Jimmy does it, game.
Well, I mean, man. He just takes risks, man. But the crazy thing about it is the season ended exactly the way it should have ended, with Jimmy throwing the last pass to the other team, so everybody can shut up and say, well, if Jimmy Jimmy had 4 opportunities in the fourth quarter. As much as you want to blame it on Kyle, Jimmy choked it away as usual. And again, I don't want to sound like a Shannon stan, but I think somebody else pointed this out too. On all the games that Kyle lost, the big games he lost, he was always outgunned when it came to quarterbacks. Yes. Did we really expect Jimmy Garoppolo to outplay Patrick Mahomes for a full 4 quarters? It was like, oh wow,
that's why I picked the Chiefs to win that game. Seriously,
did we really expect a full 4 quarters of Jimmy Garoppolo outplaying Matthew Stafford, who had just came off the high of beating Tom Brady?
I know I picked the Niners to win that game only because they had won six in a row, but in retrospect, it was going to be tough to get that 7th.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. It was like, that's asking too much. But in going to that, that's the only person that needs to be traded, dude. Once you trade him, that fixes everything else. Number one, it gets Kittle from out the middle of the field and getting killed 4 or 5 games out the year. Most of his injuries always are, all right, Jimmy, look, we need a Kittle play. Okay. I need you to run across both middle, the linebacker and the safety, break 4 tackles, and then get that 165-yard reception that's going to make my numbers look good. Or, just all those crazy plays that he runs people into contact. Deebo leads the league in yak because Jimmy's going to do a dump off or a running back screen which is
He almost
sad. We
got
have to put him
knocked
in.
out in the NFC Championship, man. That was rough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we need to they need to hurry up and figure out how to trade him. At this point, if you can get him, if you can get rid of him for, an old Monte Carlo, just get rid of him, dude.
What I
Like,
keep
it
saying with
doesn't
Jimmy
matter.
is he shrinks the field, man. It's like, when you watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when they have those high school basketball games, but the court's really small for some reason.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the football field that Jimmy plays on, man. And everyone's knocking into each other because Trey, at the very least, will space the field, and he'll get the defense having to like defend deep and outside the numbers, and everyone will have space. It'll be great. It'll be beautiful.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part about it. No one will say it. It's just like, bro, he limits the offense. Stop making excuses. The Jimmy
The field is
stands
this big with him on it. It's this big, this big. And it's
and
like,
all
we got
his
quick release. Who gives a damn? Like, I'm sorry.
and
I'm sorry. Yeah.
and with his playoff record, quotation marks, like what, four touchdowns, 6 picks?
Yeah.
That's some real winning numbers, bro.
Here's what's gonna happen. He's gonna get traded to another team because of his locker room presence and the way he rallies the troops. But this new team isn't gonna know him. And when he starts throwing these picks and training camp, they're gonna be like, yo, what did we trade for? And all those little relationships that he built up won't be there. And I don't know that he'll be the rally the troops, locker room popularity. They'll just be like, yo, why did we do this? I can see that happening. I can see that. Because he had this special magical entrance here in San Francisco. They were 1-10, and he came in, and that's not gonna happen. The next place, he's gonna be a big disappointment. I'm sorry.
Well, if he goes to Pittsburgh, I think that they do good enough to cover his deficiencies. I'm telling you, bro.
No, Pittsburgh. Here's the thing: the team that trades for Jimmy Garoppolo is a very, very dumb team. Can we agree on that? It's dumb. And I think we're all saying, like, look, there's got to be one dumb team out there. And the thing is, there is. So he will get it. But it's not Pittsburgh, man. Pittsburgh is one of the smartest teams in the league. There's no way. It's not going to be Pittsburgh. No way. But it could be some dumb team. Sure. Miami seems pretty stupid.
Now, if we're doing Miami, that's how you get your secondary help. You don't have to trade Kittle. I'm with you on that. But the trade, yeah. But how much does he cost per year? That's the other part about it.
You cost what Kittle costs. Boom. Cost what Kittle costs.
No.
Here's the thing.
You don't see.
Hey, if Kittle gets hurt again this year, you're going to be like, damn, Grant was right. Because this is mostly about the injuries. Mostly about the fact that his last 2 injuries have been non-contact lower leg injuries that should be scaring you, man. A broken foot and a calf that was real close to an Achilles that messed up his whole year. Scary.
Yeah, well, if you stop throwing him the ball 4 yards within the linebacker or a safety every daggum time, you won't have that problem. I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen a quarterback throw people into more concussions, broken ribs, bruised thighs, or whatever.
There was 2 other things though. In the play in Dallas, he fumbled. They didn't count, right? The ball hit the ground or whatever, fumbled. And then it in Green Bay. He had a touchdown that he just dropped. He smoked it. He just in his hands, clear. He dropped it. Like
I give you that.
He's the player he was 2 years ago.
It was 2 degrees out there, Grant.
That's true. But he's from Iowa, man. He's supposed to be tough. He knows what that's all about.
It's 2 degrees, and he's trying to catch a pass from Jimmy Garoppolo. And that's the crazy thing about it, Mr. Quick Release. Yeah. You know, sometimes it's like, all right, I'm gonna throw a lame duck, and then other times, dude, where did that velocity come from? What? Make up your mind. What are you doing? How do you not have touch?
Man, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm trying to.
No, it's cool, man.
We only got 40
minutes.
Cool. Good to see you.
It's cool.
Promise me you're gonna be all right.
I'm gonna be fine, dude.
Are you getting out soon?
We'll see.
All right, man. I'll be thinking about
thanks,
it.
Grant.
All right, take care.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, man. Life's getting real for the Cohn phone. Okay, I'm gonna go. Keneal, I gotta get Korean because a Korean Niner because he was last in line. But then it's you. What's up?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay.
Couple points. My first point is just cut Jimmy and end the charade. Do we really need to go through another offseason of he's not good enough to be the full-time starter?
I know. I feel like if what the Niners are going to have to do, if they want to get that 2nd or 3rd round pick, they're going to have to wait because they're going to have to let the market play out, and they're going to have to let some dumb team get desperate. And that's not going to happen right like first thing in March. It's going to happen down the line. And it just, I think the longer he's on the team, if he shows up to OTAs, it's poisonous. Not because of him, just because the team's going to choosing. You ever
We
heard
can't-
him talk about?
Can't have that again this season. Upcoming season, I should say. Secondly, I'd love for us to get Xavier Howard. That would definitely help solve a lot of the secondary issues, because it seems like him in Miami just keep. He doesn't want it. Appears like he doesn't want to be there. He wants a new contract and wants to get out. But the biggest issue for me is fixing this offensive line, because I feel that Alex Mack will retire because he's already has those thoughts in the back of his mind, and I feel Lakin is going to leave for $12 to $14 million because of an AFC team having all the cap space in the world and want to protect their young quarterback. So the name I really want is the Tampa Bay center. I think he's a free agent. I think it's
Ryan Jensen. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. So that's the one person I want. So, but yep, that's all I wanted to talk to you about.
I think
Grant.
free agency for the offensive line is the way to go, because the Niners can't develop in that position. And I feel strongly, I think they got to get Stephon Gilmore or Xavier Howard, one of the two, and spend that second round pick on a safety. If Afunga's the starting safety next year, I don't know what I'm going to say, but I'm probably going to laugh like this, ha ha ha, ha. Like that, like ha ha, Clinton Diggs.
I don't think that would be a good way to go.
No, and you think John Lynch would understand that, right? Because he's a Hall of Fame DB, but I don't know.
So yeah, all right. Thanks, Grant.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You too.
What is it about former DBs telling you that DBs don't matter? Crocker does it. He's like, man, I'm all pass rush. Like, what is that? Stop it. It's like a self-hatred thing. Is it like, love yourself? You're a DB. And people like you. You're important. What's up? What's up? How you doing?
Man, what's
George
good, Grant?
Kittle. Oh man.
Yeah.
Tell me this Vernon Davis.
So I got my point on Kittle. All right. So my thing is I want to trade him, but not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. So
right.
The thing is, and I want you maybe to do some you can find this out for me, because I saw to one of your tweets, John Chapman said that if we trade him, we still got to pay him $12.5 million.
Well, if you do it a post June 1, it's much more palatable. So you do it that way. And yeah, so not anytime soon. But the reason I keep saying like do it this offseason, that time is of the essence, is the injury thing. If he has a third year where he goes on IR, he limps through the season, he gets 800 yards, I mean, he's labeled injury prone, and whatever his value was this year, it goes way down. It's a lot like the Jimmy Garoppolo situation. Like coming off of 2020, the Niners, no one wanted to trade Jimmy. But he was probably worth the first at that point. Then he got hurt again, and now you can't get anything for him. So I'm just saying time is of the essence if you want to trade him.
There. Let me if we go into one side of the what if, though, let's do the other side.
Yes.
Jimmy, he was not good.
Right.
So with Trey for a whole year, could Kittle
Hell
not have a
No, if he stays healthy. If he stays healthy.
If he stays healthy. So
if he stays healthy, yes, absolutely. Yes. He's still really good, which is, I'm not saying like trade him for a third. He's still really good. It's just all about will he stay healthy at this point.
All right, fair. Yeah. All right, I'm going to move on because I haven't been on here in a minute.
All right, that's fair.
Off-season plan, I've been trying to figure out. I would love us to go sign like J.C. Jackson from New England or something like that, a corner like that, but we don't have to necessarily make a trade to get a corner. I would love to bring him in.
He's got carved out $100 million in your cap, but no, he's definitely worth it. That's a number one cornerback right there. It's a guy who has a ton of interceptions. He could be perfect.
Yep, and he thinks New England doesn't appreciate him, and I'm like, we'll appreciate you, bro. We'll appreciate you.
We appreciate you. Yes.
I would love to bring in Cordell Patterson. I think it's something to have more and more weapons. I think more weapons is a good thing, especially versatile weapons like that to be a third down running back. And then I agree with like drafting a safety, like the dude from Baylor, like Jalen, something with a P, like Petre or something like that. He's a good baller. But one of my big reasons for being out here, man, is I want to continue to spread propaganda for Christian Watson. All right, I really Christian Watson. I think beyond them just being 6'4", with 4.4 speed, which is where we don't really have that big size speed guy, is at the same time is that Lance needs guys in the locker room that believe in him, that understand us who he is and how he can play. And I think that Watson is a hell of a player himself, and I think he might slide due to the FCS thing. And I think Juwan Jennings is great. He's great, but he's a 7th round pick, and I'd wonder with his size his blocking ability if he could be a potential replacement for a Kittle down the road or something like
Now,
that to
correct
play
me if
tight
I'm
end.
wrong. I've seen a lot of people float this idea of Christian Watt, and I think where this is coming from is the success that Burrow and Jamar Chase had. Am I wrong? You get the
To a certain
guys
degree.
to a certain, because I mean, like, I'm just saying, it worked with them. I get it. I'm cool with it. If it works if Trey Lance has a good connection with him, absolutely. Why not? It sounds good to me. I mean, it just seems like I wouldn't take him instead of a DB. If he's there in
No.
round 3, wonderful. Absolutely. But that's what I was
exactly
saying.
what Take
That's
a
what I was
DB
saying.
in the second round. I agree with you.
Yeah.
We have to take a DB in the second round. We have to take him. Then a third round pick. Hopefully we can flip Jimmy for a third or a fourth. I'm praying. I know it's not likely. I'm praying. But if we do, take a O lineman as well, maybe in that area, and Christian Watson. Find a way to make it happen. And
What's
I
crazy
believe
is that Ian Rappaport said during the season that like Jimmy's really increasing his value. Last year they could have got a third for him, but they're going to get a first or a second for him. Last year they could have got a third for him. Excuse me. See, and that was reported. And see, that's why I feel like they're not going to release him. They're not going to trade him for anything less than the third because Ian opened his mouth and said they turned down a third for him. That's incompetence, man. I mean, you're just opening yourself up for big. I mean, I already know what I would say. Ha! I wouldn't pull any punches on that. I'm just saying. That's why they're going to keep him.
It's frustrating. We got to know. We can't keep Jimmy. We can't.
They turned down a third for him last year. Remember that.
Oh Lord! Look,
And
I'd rather cut him. This is Trey area. This is Trey time. It's his time, man. We would have won the Super Bowl last. I fully believe that. I know people think that's crazy and like, oh my God, a rookie quarterback, yada yada yada. The team was stacked. It was stacked. Jimmy was holding them back.
I feel like 15 to 20 quarterbacks could have won the Super Bowl with this team last year. 15 to 20.
Crazy.
I mean, the fact that Jimmy couldn't get it done is kind of remarkable. Like, what more did you need? What did you not have? Pardon me. It's like, what you need? You need an all-pro fullback? No, you have that. Did you need a running back who averaged 4.7 yards? You had that. You needed the best offensive weapon. You had that. The best left tackle. I'm sorry, Jimmy. We're getting off track here, though. I got to take more calls. Always a pleasure, man.
I gotta go, man. Thank you, and thank you for having me as well. And that's why, hey, I appreciate you retweeting my stuff on Twitter today, man.
That was great. I love that one. I got you, man.
Thank you.
All right, later.
Yeah.
I want to get Ben Camperman in real quick because he wasn't here yesterday. What's up, Ben?
Hi. I mean, not doing much, but I thought I would
Look at
call
your setup, man.
So, yeah,
Killing
thank
it.
you.
Wow. What's up?
Yeah, so I wanted to come on here and say, this guy could really Marcus Jones, I think you might have seen it in the private chat that I said from Houston. He's a DB, and if we're losing Akello Weatherspoon, no, not Akello Weatherspoon, K'Wan Williams, sorry.
K'Wan.
If we're losing K'Wan, he could potentially fill in for him, and I know the 49ers, he's 5'8", and I know the 49ers do like to draft the smaller corners, or would like to draft the smaller corners. And I feel like this guy could also maybe play safety. And he's a kick returner. Marcus Jones from Houston.
Okay.
He's a kick returner. Has a fast 40 time. I think it's like right here. I wrote it down. It's 4.45. So a pretty fast 40 time. And the thing is, he had 5 picks in 2021. A great man-to-man press. Like, a lot of times when you're watching his film, a lot of times you'll see him. He'll get right up on the guy. And the thing is he's 5'8", but he doesn't play like it. Like, he's a hard hitter, pretty fast. And so I think that, like, it fits what the 49ers are trying to do on the defensive side of the ball, what they are drafting for. And the thing is I think he's probably, somebody mentioned it when I was doing a show with John Chapman yesterday. Somebody mentioned it, and I started looking up his film, and I was like amazed. I was like, I mean, this guy's only ranked 11th, I think, among all cornerbacks. And
I'm looking it up right now. I'm seeing him on CBS. They have him at 103 overall. And the Niners have the 102nd pick. So it seems like you've really done your homework here, man. This is a terrific initial late third comp pick selection for the 49ers.
Right.
Perfect.
But now, again, we'll have to see with the combine because he might make a jump. I mean, he looks really good. So if he does make a jump, maybe you get him with the second round pick. But otherwise, you get a safety with the second round pick, and then you try to get him with the third round pick, or maybe trade up. Because again, I think the 49ers, if they lose that guy to the GM spot, they will get another comp pick another third round pick. And
Mhm.
so you can use like one or two of those third round picks to trade up if he's going to go earlier. So he's an intriguing prospect. Everyone go look him up because he's fast. He can play man to man, hard hitter, had 5 picks. So, which is like tied for 4th, was a very
So you're
good
telling me he has ball skills
Yeah. Yeah.
and he
And
has recovery speed?
the only weakness that
Don't
he
tell me
has,
his tackling is his best thing. I don't want to hear that tackling is his best quality. I don't want to hear that.
he has everything really because he's fast, so he can keep up with guys like Cooper Kupp.
Good.
The only thing is against bigger receivers. I feel like they say that his since he's short, his arm radius and everything will
K1's
limit him a
5'8".
little bit.
K1's
Exactly. And
5'8".
so I think he's kind of a wild card because you could do kick return with him and the safety thing. Like maybe you could. So I think this guy. I mean, look him up, everyone. He's
will.
an amazing prospect.
Ben, I want to say,
so.
great call. Thanks for doing your homework. This was A+. I wish more people would come through and give us prospects to look for because I haven't done my homework and I need you to do it for me. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. And one more thing. If you are going to do a film, I want you to, with Jack Hammer or whatever, look up this guy. And as the draft get closer, maybe we'll get into a little bit more of this.
Can you do me a favor and find a safety the Niners should draft in round 2?
Okay. Cool.
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah.
All right, man.
Okay.
See you, man. Later. That was great. A+. We need more calls like that. We need more kids like that in this country. Papa Dragon, I don't know who you are. You got your back to me. You're scaring me, man. Michael, what's up? What's up, Papa? How you doing? I got you next.
Yo,
what's up, Michael?
Grant?
How you doing?
Let's stay on the topic, but why do the 49ers try to lowball players? Like Deebo Samuel, I feel like the 49ers are lowballing his contract. I don't know.
It's how Parag does business, man. It's how he got the job. What he does is he saves the Yorks money. I think 20 years ago, what happened? Let me take you some history lesson. There was a change in ownership, and also there was the implementation of the salary cap. And the old ownership didn't understand how that worked. They were in salary cap hell, meaning their finances were all messed up. Parag came in and sort of fixed things for them. And the Yorks have been leaning on him ever since. And his main job is to save them money, which is crazy because they're worth like $4 billion. I mean, how much money do you need to save? But yeah, I think it starts there. That's what he does. That's his skill set.
Yeah, anyway, on another topic I have is if we had any other coach, like say Anthony Lynn was our coach, Trey would be starting right now. Jimmy would not be.
Well, hold on. Anthony Lynn did start Tyrod Taylor over Justin Herbert until Tyrod Taylor got a punctured lug. So I think a lot of times coaches are just conservative by nature. And they feel like if I start the rookie and he screws up, I get criticized. If I start the veteran and he screws up, everyone says I did the right thing and I go to the rookie. So it's a little bit of like protecting yourself from criticism. Is it? I think.
You have a good point there. I can't really.
I'm just saying. And with Kyle, like he knows he's never going to get fired, or if he does, he'd have 5 teams asking him to coach their team. So he can basically he can go as slow as he wants. He can take 7 years with Trey because he's got, job security.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also heard on the Steelers report that the Steelers could stand trading 2/4 for Jimmy. That would be really
2/4. Yeah. Because what you do when you trade 2/4, first of all, I'll take it. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Pittsburgh. You're saying that's our backup quarterback. It's our backup quarterback. So I don't understand why they would do. I mean, I guess if you want them to back up Mason Rudolph, or they're going to draft. See, they might draft a quarterback in round 1. You don't know. They could take Malik Willis. They could take Sam Howell, Matt Corral, Kenny Pickett, one of those dudes in round 2 and start him and feel like he's just as good as freaking Jimmy. So maybe they're bringing in Jimmy as a backup or someone to compete.
The problem with all those quarterbacks in the draft is it's not the Steelers type of quarterback. They like a quarterback that's accurate, like Ben Roethlisberger when he was in his prime. Not last year Ben Roethlisberger, but when he had enough juice to actually be a good quarterback. They want a player like that. They don't want a player that one read, take off in the rookie year. They want someone who goes through the read, like Mac Jones. See, that's why.
The way Ben Roethlisberger by the end couldn't move and had no arm, but when he was younger, he was the guy who extended plays better than anyone, and he had a freaking cannon. And if you forget, before him, there was a couple of years of Tommy Maddox, but for a long time, the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback, when I was a kid, was Cordell Stewart. The original, not the original, but one of the original dual threat guys. He was not a super efficient passer, but they won a ton of games with Cordell Stewart. I mean, the Steelers have been way ahead of the curve on this for these types of quarterbacks, not just pocket passers. That's not what Ben was originally. And I don't see them being interested in a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo. They've never been interested. They'd be more interested in a guy like Trey Lance, Malik Willis. That's the way I see it. But Carson Wentz. But I could be wrong. Watch them to get Jimmy Garoppolo. I'll have to delete this. The evidence.
I feel like the Steelers usually have like quarterbacks that can actually throw. You see, like if they had Lamar Jackson usually just runs and stuff. He's so-called a running back. But anyway, that's all I have for you, Grant.
All right, Michael. Good to see you again.
Yeah. Thank you.
Adios. Peace. Thank you. Pete's Take says, what's the deal with Deebo? Is he coming to Miami to follow Jimmy Neutron? Jimmy Neutron. That's what he looks like. He does look like Jimmy Neutron, man. I'm never going to unsee that. That's hella funny. No, I don't think so, man. Papa Dragon, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing?
Oh, good. How are you?
I'm okay.
So anyway, the whole deal with Crocker and why I totally agree with him is that, if you give quarterbacks, more than, 2.5 seconds of play, then they got a chance to find somebody. Right. And that's also why, doubly, when you have a mobile quarterback that can extend plays, then that's more difficult to cover as a defensive back because now you're chasing a guy all over the field. Right. And that gets very tiring because now the play is at 4 or 5 seconds, which is what Mahomes does. So really the biggest key, I think, for Trey Lance and the biggest keys for the 49ers really is the O-line. They got to do something about that O-line. If they had, look at it this way. If you tell me we hold the Rams to 20 points, I'll tell you that, okay, we hold them to 20, we're going to win that game.
Yeah, but that was a bit of a mirage. I mean, the Rams guy dropped a touchdown. It was wide open. It was a busted coverage. It hit him in both hands. The dude's name was Skoranek. I don't know who that is.
Hey, I'm not disputing any of that. I'm not. Yeah. What I am trying to say is that you still had a situation where your offense did nothing in the fourth quarter. So when you're having to prioritize how many bags you give out, then that's your situation. And I think number 2, as far as Kittle goes.
Hold on, let's not go to 2 yet. Let me argue with you, bro. Let me argue with you, man. So hold on. So last year they did exactly what you said. In the second round, they could have taken Asante Samuel Jr., but they didn't. And they took Aaron Banks.
Wait a second, that was a mistake.
That was a mistake.
Yeah, no.
Why?
That was
because
horrible.
This team can't draft and develop offensive linemen at all. I don't know why.
That's a horrible mistake. But even if they took Asante, chances are he'd been relegated to the bench anyway. He would have been on the bench doing nothing. Chances
he's no Diamador Lenore.
That's what I'm saying. So I think this year, I think what we need to do is do a little bit of Rams front office. And honestly, I think we should trade our number 2 pick for a starter, whether it be a defensive back or offensive lineman. I think that we should definitely trade that pick.
That's fine.
That's me.
Cool. That's cool. I like it.
Other than that, how do we fix the offensive line?
I mean, you got the best left tackle in football. That's a good place to start.
That's one player. If we lose Lakin, it's going to be hard.
Well, you keep Lakin. You keep Mack. That's 3/5. I mean, honestly, the offensive line, they want to. I mean, Tom Compton was a good. They're a good run blocking unit. They don't have great pass protection other than their left tackle. Well, I don't know. I still think their secondary's worse. I think their secondary's worse, man.
So you think
it's propped up by the front 7, but really the secondary there's no Trent Williams in their secondary.
But if you look around the league and look at secondaries, most of them are about as good as ours or worse. I mean, I'm just saying
they're dead last in interceptions the last 5 years.
All right, let me end my argument with this. One of my favorite players is Deion Sanders. And Deion said he would have trouble covering in today's NFL because you can't put hands on him. All the other pass interference calls, the roughing the passer call. There's like a lot of issues now with defensive backs being able to play the game rough, fairly, and that one-on-one man coverage that we would need Thomas to be able to play. He's not even playing his game right now. So that's what I'm saying is that ultimately, to me, if you have a rookie quarterback coming in, it's not an if. Trey Lance should start. He should have started last year. As much as I would wish Jimmy Garoppolo got, handcuffed to some porno star's bed and they had to start Trey. As much as I like all that, the bottom line is that ultimately, yes, shutdown corner, great, but there are no such thing as shutdown corners anymore. They're just not there.
So let me ask you. My question is, do you think the Niners are correct to only shop at the dollar store for defensive backs?
That's
what they do.
Disagree with that.
Okay,
100%.
Okay.
I'm with you on that.
We're on the same page.
No, we're definitely on the same page there. But the bigger question is how many bags the Niners give out this offseason?
That's fair.
Yeah, Lakin. You got Bosa. You got Deebo. That's 3 bags right there.
True.
Three
True.
big old bags.
True.
So that's what I'm saying. When I'm saying like it's like offensive line or you need a proven starter and we don't develop teams, to me that sounds like Rams ball, Rams front office ball. Rams.
Maybe the Niners should trade one of their highly paid, injury-prone players who's approaching 30. What do you think? What do you think?
The problem I have with that is how much they already paid him, and because of what that salary cap's going to be, and the fact that I do have Trey Lance, and defenses play the 49ers differently when Trey Lance is under center, and the key is under center. I think trying to run him like Lamar Jackson is stupid. If he gives you 3 to 5 rushes a game plus maybe three scrambles, okay, good. 3 yards, good. I don't want him. I don't think having him do the crap that Colin Kaepernick ran. The zone read. I think that's foolish. Just run your offense, and if you see free yards, go get the free yards. Slide down. But other than that, in order for him to be protected, they got to improve that offensive line. They really do. That's like paramount because, again, he gets hurt because of a missed block. You have bigger problems.
I'm with you, man. Great call, Papa. Thanks for calling in.
All right, man. Take it easy.
You too.
For me.
All right. See you, man. 88 Niner. Rob Martin. What's up?
What's up? What's going on, man? How are you?
Good, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
It's actually a good afternoon out here. I got you.
Seems like you're chilling.
Yeah, a little bit. Deebo Samuel. Got to pay that man his money. It's going to be a little bit difficult. But they got to close that deal. If there's any deal that you're trying to say, okay, we're a serious organization, we recognize who our serious players are, who our franchise players are, we appreciate your business. They gotta make that man feel that way, regardless of whatever the numbers are. There's gonna be a discrepancy there. That's why players have agents. You know what I'm saying?
You saw this coming though, right? You saw that as soon as they started playing him at running back more than and wide receiver. I was like, Deebo, I know how the Niners work. They're not going to say anything about it now, but come negotiation time, Parag's going to show up. He's going to be like, well, technically.
Listen, that dude is a smart dude. I'm actually trying to get a part. Dude. I'm trying to get a part of some of his business that he's got because he's got a spec right now that that's open to everybody. I'm trying to be a part of it, but that's another situation.
All right.
The other we're not even gonna get into the Kittle thing. What I do want to talk about is the defensive backs.
Okay.
The defensive backs are an issue that definitely needs to be addressed.
Yes. I think it's a Parag issue too. It goes way to the top of the organization. Been doing it forever.
Parag. Yeah. Unfortunately. But that's why you may be right about getting rid of George to Miami and just picking up the guy that way.
The way I look at it is you have 2 impact players as weapons, no impact players as offensive weapons, no impact players in your secondary. Trade one of your offensive weapons who's injury prone and almost 29 for the best cornerback in the league. I mean, that's a good trade. Why don't you want the best corner in the league? Xavier Howard's good as hell.
You should. Yeah. My only thing about that is I feel like for my portion, I would want Stephon Gilmore because I know his pedigree. I know he's been a part of championship organization, and he would essentially be the next team's version of a Richard Sherman, which, by the way, was the last time we went to the Super Bowl when we had some freaking pedigree of leadership back there. You know what I mean? He brings that to the game. Also, because of his age, you could probably get him a little bit cheaper. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, he is 3 years older. That's true.
So,
Xavier Howard is option one. I think Stephon Gilmore is a great plan B if you can't get Howard.
Certainly.
I'm just saying. Yeah, because Howard, you'd have him for the next 4 or 5 years. Be nice.
Either one of them. Truth be told. Truth be told. The last thing is real quick. I wish we could get our hands on Marquise Brown, and I understand that the Ravens are apparently picking up his 5th-year option. But boy, if we could spend that $13 million, which guess what? If we got rid of somebody that we're paying $26 next year, we might be able to do that.
Maybe they could trade Jimmy for Marquise Brown straight up. Maybe the Ravens need a a locker room leader, someone who's can rally the troops, you know?
Hey, that'd be
Not in a
excellent
million
if
years.
that worked out that way, but I don't know if John fall for that one.
I don't think so. I don't think so, man. All
So,
right, man. I gotta take a few more calls, but it's good to see you, dude.
certainly, man. Likewise. You have a great day.
You too, Rob.
All right, boss.
Dang, I just lost the coach. He just bounced. And a mean too. I got Jesse though.
What up, Grant?
What's up, Jesse? How you doing? Hey, what was Deebo talking about? Can you explain to me what that were those just lyrics? I don't know. I'm 34.
I don't, you know what? I'm not quite sure about that, but what I can say is he's basically sending a message to the team. Give him the bag, come correct, don't mess around. And I agree with him. People have to understand that Deebo is 26 years old. He's only going to get maybe one real payday. I genuinely would not. Right. So I genuinely wouldn't expect anything less than 23 to 25 annually. And that's going to be the going rate. Now, if I'm the 49ers, you can save yourself money by getting the deal done first, because guys like Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, Terry McLaurin, DK Metcalf, AJ Brown, all those guys are coming next, and they're coming soon. But if you can get it done first, even though you're quote unquote overpaying right now, you're saving yourself in the long run. So I would work on that deal fast, pay him 23 to 25 over 4 to 5 years, and just get it done.
You know how the Niners can really piss off Deebo Samuel? Go to the negotiating table and bring the Christian McCaffrey deal. Like, we're going to make you the highest paid running back in the league. How does that sound?
Don't do it.
Wide receiver, they'd be like, well, technically, let's look at your splits the second half of the season. I mean, we're going to have to meet in the middle here, Deebo. I don't know. I think that's how Parag does his business. And I think the only way you override that is when Kyle comes in the last minute and says, Parag, stop messing around. You did that with Trent Williams, right?
Yeah, you're right. So, I mean, I hope they don't do that. They, like I said, be first, save yourself money in the long run. But I want to talk about the secondary thing just real quick.
Before we go on, what Deebo has to realize is that Parag is a competitor, and he's trying to win. He's not trying to go in there and be like, Deebo, let me make your dreams come true. He's trying to win, and he's trying to win at your expense. So, Deebo, call up Fred Warner, call up George Kittle, and figure out what you should expect, because this is a competition between you and Parag now. Sorry, go ahead.
Absolutely. And I think he realizes that, and that's why I think he's posting what he's posting. I think he knows he's got to play hardball, and he's smart. So
right, because all year everyone was telling him how great he was. Now all of a sudden you got Parag being like, well, actually, it's like, what? Who are you?
You're a great running back, Deebo. Let's pay you that.
Actually, yeah, the numbers say this is what you're worth. Oh, thanks. Spreadsheet.
All right. So I'm with you on the secondary thing, but I'm going to go a different route. So I keep hearing everybody talk about JC Jackson, which I would love to have, but reality is I understand him and New England are having issues, but we're just talking about Deebo and how hard negotiations are going to be. That's all the Patriots are doing. Worst case scenario, they'll franchise tag him. They're not letting him go. They pay DBs. They trade for DBs. That's their philosophy. So I would be shocked if he gets out there. That's one. Mm-hmm. Two, Stephon Gilmore is going to play next year, I believe, at 32 years old. So you want a man corner that you're going to pay 13 plus over the next 2 years, 13 per season. And you're going to expect that he's not going to just give out at 32 and then 33 years old. I don't know if I'm going that route. I do like Ambry Thomas. I do like Mosley. And I think their issue has been on third down, but I don't think it's because of their skill set. I think it's because they've been playing a lot of soft squat when they're more man corners, and it's been an issue. But
early in the season, there was just flags galore when D'Amico was aggressive, and then I think he figured out, like, okay, well, the new goal is no penalties, no deep catches. Can you guys do that, please? And it came with the third down defense.
To be fair, he was aggressive with guys like Norman and who's the other guy? Kirkpatrick.
Mosley. I mean, Mosley was committing pass interferences left and right against Indianapolis.
Yeah, I think that was, I don't know. I think that was more of a one-off, because I've seen Mosley. I think Mosley's fine here, but here's how you can help both of them. Okay, so if I'm going to splurge in the secondary, they need to fix what? They need to fix two things. One, they need a nickel corner, and two, they need to replace Tart, potentially. Here's how you do it with one player. If you're going to splurge on Tyrann Mathieu. He's 29 years old. He'll play next season at 30.
He's only 29? Damn, he's been around forever.
So he turns 30, I believe, in May. So he's going to play next season at 30. Yeah. You can pay a safety over 4 years and let him play till he's 33, 34. And that's not as big of a deal as doing that with a corner, right?
He's like Jimmy Ward with ball skills. Sorry, Jimmy. I love you, Jimmy. I'm sorry.
Right. But you can have both of them. Imagine Jimmy.
No, I'm down. That'd be great.
They like to rotate those safeties. They like to have them do different things. I would trust either one of them in that nickel corner spot on third downs. And they can cover the back end good enough on 2-man high to allow Mosley and Ambry especially go play press man and third down and long. I think that that's the best way to fix everything. And then you bring in somebody like a Kyle Fuller to compete with Ambry Thomas. Whoever wins that job, great. Whoever doesn't, you've now got the added depth you need and your secondary's fixed. That's how I would do it.
I love it. I think that's great. That's really cool. As long as it doesn't involve starting Diamondre Lenore and Talanoa Hufanga, I'm in. I'm good. That's ridiculous. They can't do that, but they will.
Well, and Jimmy Ward is entering the last year of his deal. So just by simply restructuring his deal, you're going to save almost $6 million. So that will help you get that money you need to go splurge on Tyrann Mathieu. So that's how I'm doing that.
Genius. Love it. Thanks for calling in.
All right, brother.
Peace. You bounced.
I did,
like,
man.
You know what? Whatever, man. What did
I got a call.
Okay, all right. What are we talking about today? Kittle again?
I mean, I I could, but we'll be soft on Kittle.
Fair.
I think you're tripping.
I'm getting killed on Twitter for it, so it's all right. Everyone agrees.
Yeah, I think you are wilding out. You know what I'm saying? It's a good thing they don't drug test over there at Sports Illustrated. You are wilding, trying to get rid of George Kittle. It's just what he brings, Grant.
I'm just trying to get a number one corner on this team somehow, some way. I'm just trying.
But I mean, I feel like okay, but you trying to get a number one corner on a team that doesn't need a number one corner. That's not what we do on defense. I disagree. That's not what we do.
Dead last in interceptions since 2017.
All right, so quick question. Give me the top three Give me the top three corners in the NFL right now.
Look, I'm not saying they need a top three corner in the NFL. I'm saying they
gotta. What I'm saying. Okay. The point that I'm all right.
No impact players in the secondary.
Okay, investing more. Jimmy Ward is an impact player. Don't do that.
He's a good player, but he doesn't. I mean, he's better at tackling. He doesn't really have ball skills. I'm sorry. He had the layup from Stafford this year. He had the other one that got, but he's not really the.
He's also the number one rated safety. He's also the number one rated safety in coverage versus tight ends in the NFL too. Don't do that.
Definitely the best starter in the secondary, but I'm saying like a guy with real ball skills hasn't been in this secondary. Sherman, but Sherman was old as hell.
I mean, all right, okay, but let's look at this. I just kind of feel like, styles make fights, man. And the way we build our team is, the way we build our team. And one of the things that
picks in his career, and he's a good player. Tart's a good player too, but I'm saying an impact player in the secondary does not exist at this time.
Okay, and but just to undergird my point more,
yeah.
The 49ers, they go out and go get maybe a guy, a merc, if you will, to come in and actually handle the heavy lifting for their secondary. But really, the 49ers are homegrown when it comes to secondary. If you look at E-Man, homegrown. K1, homegrown. Witherspoon, homegrown. Demo, homegrown. Ambry, homegrown. These are all guys that either were undrafted free agents or the highest pick that we got out of all of them was we picked up K1. I mean, we picked up Ambry and Witherspoon in the third. It's just not what we do, Grant. What we do is we spend our money on the front seven. I tend to side with Croc on this. It's what we do. We go get the quarterback.
But when you put that much investment into the pass rush, one byproduct should be interceptions because pressure leads to interceptions. And the fact that there could be 5th in sacks and 26th in interceptions in the same season tells you that they're not investing enough in the secondary. I'm not saying that they have to have freaking Jalen Ramsey, but I do think they don't have a number one corner. They have a couple of number twos, and they have solid safety. They have good safeties, but Tart's not coming.
Thank you. We got good safeties.
He's good, and he's going to leave, and they're going to replace him with someone worse, and that concerns me. Hafunga's not as good as Tart. Hafunga.
All right, and you know what? You know what? I believe I tell people this all the time. I do not believe in lazy problems. So if you bring me a problem, you better bring me a solution. So here we go.
I'm trying.
Here
What I
goes.
said at the beginning of the show was trade Kittle for Xavier Howard. There's your number one corner, and then draft a safety with speed and ball skills in round 2. I don't know who that safety is yet, but I got 3 months to figure it out.
I got a couple of safeties for you.
Thank you.
All right, so here we go. I'm ranking them. I got 4 for you. I'm ranking them from 1 to 4. Okay. If we could do it my way, the number one guy that I would go for is Brian Cook out of Cincinnati.
Okay.
Brian Cook, he's 6'2", runs 6'2", 195, runs a 4.5, rangy, long, and he's got good ball skills. I like Brian Cook.
At 60th overall on CBS, the Niners have the 61st pick. Boom. Okay, Brian Cook.
And he's doable. Okay.
Boom.
2, I would go with Isaiah Palamoa. Out of USC, 6'3", 198, runs a 4.5, heavy hitter. He's a thumper, and he's got good ball skills. He's probably gonna have to adjust to the speed of the NFL, but I like Isaiah a lot. Okay.
There a little bit later. They have him at 187 on CBS, but these things will all change after the combine, really.
Once it shakes out, you know what I'm saying? 3rd, Jordan Battle out of Alabama. He's got a lot of big games under him. He's played in an NFL defense his entire college career. All right. He's 6', 210, runs a 4.5, and he's a ball player. He's got really good ball skills. And he comes down in the box a lot and guards tight ends and slots. I've seen him work in, and he's a converted corner. So Jordan Battle out of Alabama.
I like it. Where do they say he's gonna go?
I think he's a lower guy, so I'm thinking like late 3rd, early 4th.
Let me read the NFL.com scouting report on Brian Cook because I'm interested. All right.
Okay.
This is Lance Zerling. He says skilled enforcer with size, toughness, and instincts to put his stamp on the game in a variety of ways. Cook plays with the confidence and consistency of a pro safety and loves to run and hit. His blend of football intelligence, athleticism, and physicality makes him an ideal fit for matchup-oriented defenses looking for versatile back-end chameleons. He can be used as an add-on run defender, matchup on F tight ends, or play on the back end. Sounds like Tart. Nice. Cook. Sounds a lot like Tart. Cook needs to answer questions about his speed and play with focus and leverage. Open field tackler, but he's reliable and talented. Could become a good starter early in his career. Cool. What about picks? I mean, do you got any ball skills?
Yeah, he's got good ball skills. He's got so much ball skills that they started throwing away from him. He's part of the reason why Kobe Bryant, that other corner from the other side of Sauce Gardner, is the reason why Kobe Bryant kind of ascended, because he had Bryant over top of him when they were playing.
Well, this year he had 2 picks and 9 pass defenses in 14 games, so that's good. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a big Brian Cook fan.
Yeah, seems like the best option. What was Tart? What pick was he? Was he around 60?
Yeah, Tart was I think Tart was a 2nd round pick.
He was. Hold on. He was the 46th pick. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Brian Cook. Thank you for that. That's good.
Yeah. Brian Cook, and one more guy outside of Jordan Battle, Isaiah Palamoa, Brian Cook, one more guy, Bubba Bolden out of Alabama. He's almost kind of like the poor man's Brian Cook. But he's 6'2", 202, runs a 4.5. He's a good guy too. So I mean, we draft DBs, and then
you should. But all I'm saying is, for the first time since 2015, if you're going to replace Tart, maybe replace him with the same pick you used to get him, a 2nd round pick. They haven't spent it on a DB since him, man. Since him.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I think that was 15.
15. And the year before that, it was Ward. I mean, Balky figured it out. Then he got fired. The way that Lynch was a
He was a DB.
Come on, man.
He's a good. I mean, in today's NFL, he'd be a glorified linebacker, but he was a DB.
Where was he picked? Was he not a 3rd round pick?
Who, John Lynch?
Maybe that's the deal. He was a freaking 3rd round pick. There it is.
John Lynch was a 3rd round pick. I just looked it up.
You can find. Damn, John, it's gonna hold you back. You were special, John.
I mean, but you got to look at the brain trust, because if my memory serves me correctly, the scouting department, they didn't come in with Kyle, right?
No.
Right.
No, he kept a lot of the people from before.
Right. And you got to look at a scouting department where, you kind of hang your hat on things. And when you get a guy like E-Man was an undrafted rookie free agent. These guys kind of think we can do this. We know the formula on how to get the most bang for our buck out of these guys.
I mean, forever they've been looking for very specific traits in the defensive backfield: size, length, wingspan, and tackling. They basically say, well, we can get those traits after round 3 and later, and you can. But if you want to get like impact DBs, you got to prioritize recovery speed and ball skills. I'm sorry, you do, and they don't. And that's why the Niners are freaking dead last in interceptions the last 5 years with the Jets. When they have freaking a great pass rush, I feel like those things should go together. If you have a pass rush, you should be intercepting passes. And if you're not,
yeah, but at the same time,
10 yards off the ball.
But Grant, that's not, you know how, the term of complementary football, like, one hand washes the other, the reason why the Legion of Boom or the 2000 Ravens, or the 85, the reason why these defenses are, or the 2002 Bucks, the reason why these defenses are awesome is because they're anomalies. They're elite at all 3 levels.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. And the Niners are elite at 2 levels. And they're like a couple of players away from having a fully well-rounded defense. But
that's the exception, not the rule, though, Grant.
I think the best defenses are good at have impact players at all 3 levels. And I think the Niners are basically an impact player in the secondary away from having an impact player at every position group, every single one. But they just don't value that position group, and but
Grant, that
too, coach. There are people too.
God damn it, Grant, listen to me. The Rams, look at the Rams. The Rams,
you can't handle the truth. Okay,
the Rams have a horrible linebacking core. Can we admit that?
It's true. And they
all right.
You're right.
Yeah, and they won the Super Bowl. I mean, the Cincinnati Bengals have an underwhelming pass rush, and they still went to the Super Bowl. What I'm saying is that I understand what you're saying and having impact players on every level of the defense, but that is the exception. That is not the rule. If you're heavy on one,
we both agree they should draft Brian Cook in the 2nd round. That being said,
I think they should draft Brian Cook in the 2nd round. But that doesn't mean that he's going to be an impact player. That doesn't mean that.
He'll have a better chance than Talanoa.
All right. Okay.
And if he's not, then you roll the
dice. Okay, I understand that. Talanoa Hufanga is like Ugly Betty. I get it. Like we root for him because he's like a feisty dude, but he's not anywhere near what you want to throw on the field on a regular basis.
The Niners trying to sell day 3 picks in the secondary as he's feisty. Like, no,
he's not the guy. He's a gold helmet. He's a gold helmet prospect like that. So what? I'm sorry. To get on special teams.
Best DBs are the one that you drafted in round 1 and the one you drafted in round 2. Those are your best DBs. Wharton Tart. So it's been a while.
I know. I understand, but I just kind of want you to just keep that in mind that, having impact players on every level of the defense is that sounds more like fantasy football than actually putting a team together. I mean, if you go heavy on one area, then you're going to have to gamesmith and coach up another area. I feel like the majority. Go ahead.
I got a problem for you, and I want a solution. Then the show has to end because we're at 10:03.
I'm sorry.
The problem is 20th on 3rd down. And this is an elite defense.
Okay.
An elite pass rush. And they're 20th on 3rd down. How do you fix that without better DBs?
I think we double down on pass rush.
Ooh.
We double down. You can't switch up. You get back here, Iggy. Get back here. You can't switch up.
Pass rush, man.
You double down. What are we paying Cassandra for if we're not doubling down with the best? Yo, don't get brand new. We do what we do. We go get the quarterback and we stop the run. We have exceptional linebackers. I'm not trying to be out here with a whole bunch.
You a standing ovation. Parag is somewhere like, yes, that is what I'm talking about.
This is not 7-on-7. It's not 7-on-7. We just can't put everything into DBs, man. All right? This isn't flag football. Control. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me say something to you.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me say something to you. You build a football team from the inside out, from the trenches out, on both sides of the ball. You are trying to get corners.
Draft the safety in round 2.
Yes, okay, but that's a need. The draft is contextual. That's a need. That doesn't mean that that's where we are.
Hold on. So we agree on the second round pick in the safety. What do you want to do at corner? And then we'll stop. What do you want to do at corner?
If we had to do something at corner, I would say oh my God.
Sign a guy? Just sign a guy? Steven.
Yeah.
Sign a guy?
I think hold on. I think we should sign a guy, but I think we also should develop. I like Vernon Hargraves or I like Desmond King.
Right. I like that. Okay.
Vernon Hargraves or Desmond King, somebody with a lot of snaps under him, still young, under 30, that can play ball for us. But we don't need to go prima donna shopping to go get some guy out there who's some hired merc to shut down one. That's not what we do.
We get up and leave the room, coach. You made me leave the room. It's all right though. We're so cool.
I feel good.
That was fun, man. Good call.
All right, bro. Thank you, man.
Have a good one, man. Later. Rob says in the 88-9er, that type of thinking is that's the way we do it is why Rams have won Super Bowl and we don't. Love you, Rob. Thanks, everyone. Sorry I couldn't get to you. Sorry, Eugene. But next time I'll do it midweek and you'll be first. I promise I'll jump you to the front. Eugene, Jay, and AJ get priority on the next ones because I couldn't get to. I'm so sorry, guys. But every time I'm gonna let 3 or 4 people hang in, but I'll make it up to you. I promise. Eugene, I haven't forgot about you. You're my guy. Jay, AJ, I'll see you next time.